Have you ever dreamed of becoming your own ruler, owning land that no one else claims? Well, believe it or not, there are a few places on Earth that are officially unclaimed, and in some cases, you could become the ruler of your own little patch of the world. Welcome to the bizarre and fascinating world of unclaimed lands.
Hi, I'm Gravity, and today we're going to explore some of the world's most mysterious and unclaimed lands. These are territories that no country officially claims, and in some cases they're entirely up for grabs. But don't get too excited. There's a lot more to the story than just putting your flag down and declaring yourself king. Let's dive in.
Before we get into the real unclaimed lands, let's take a look at some that have captured the world's imagination, starting with the infamous Bir Tawil.
Bir Tawil is a desert region along the border between Egypt and Sudan, and it's one of the most unique places on Earth. Despite its harsh conditions, it's totally unclaimed, and there's a very interesting reason why. You see, both Egypt and Sudan refuse to claim it because it's essentially worthless. The land is barren, without water or resources, and not useful for agriculture. So it's been left in limbo for over a century. Although the land is unclaimed, you can't just move there and declare sovereignty over it. There are international laws regarding territory claims, and it's not as simple as just setting up camp. Plus, Bir Tawil is extremely remote and inhospitable. Still, if you ever find yourself there, you'll technically be in one of the only places in the world that's not claimed by any government. Next, let's head to the high seas to talk about Sealand, a floating platform off the coast of England. Founded in the 1960s by a former British Army major, Sealand is essentially a metal platform used as a military base during World War II. Over time, its founder Paddy Roy Bates declared it an independent sovereign state, calling it the Principality of Sealand. Sealand is one of the most famous micronations in the world, with its own flag, currency, and even passports. While it's not officially recognized by any country, the Bates family continues to claim ownership and sovereignty. Technically, if you were to buy Sealand, you could become a monarch of your very own tiny island nation. However, keep in mind, Britain doesn't recognize it, and it's a constant source of legal dispute. Moving back to land, we have a much more contested and serious unclaimed territory, the Halaib Triangle. Located along the border between Egypt and Sudan, this triangular patch of land is extremely valuable due to its location, potential mineral resources, and access to the Red Sea. The issue here is that both Egypt and Sudan claim the area, but neither is willing to back down. Egypt administers the region while Sudan protests. While this technically makes it a disputed territory rather than fully unclaimed, it's a potential flashpoint for sovereignty disputes. So, if you're hoping to plant your flag on the Halaib Triangle, be warned. While it's not an officially recognized country, it's certainly not an easy place to live, nor would you likely have any support from international powers. Now let's talk about a more theoretical idea: claiming uninhabited islands. Many nations don't actively claim or defend some tiny remote islands that are not governed or developed in any meaningful way. These little pieces of land could theoretically be claimed in certain circumstances. For instance, the New Zealand-controlled Bounty Islands are mostly uninhabited, but are technically part of New Zealand territory. But other places, like the Bir Tawil Desert, have not been disputed in the same way. Now you might be thinking, can I just go out there, put up a flag and take over? In theory, no. International law and treaties, like the Montevideo Convention, require that a territory has a permanent population, a government, and recognition by other countries. In practice, it's far more complex. And countries rarely allow anyone to establish a new sovereign nation without legal battles and international intervention. While the idea of ruling your own land sounds intriguing, it's important to understand the reality. Even the most famous unclaimed territories come with a lot of baggage, from legal complexities to hostile negotiations. Bir Tawil, Sealand, and the Halaib Triangle are all embroiled in political, legal, or geographical disputes that could make claiming them as your own difficult, if not impossible. However, the stories of these unclaimed lands are a reminder of how complicated our world's borders really are. There are still places out there where sovereignty isn't so clear-cut, and a little imagination can spark some wild ideas. So, while it might not be as easy as it sounds, these mysterious lands remind us how fascinating and complex our world's geography can be. If you've ever dreamed of being the ruler of your own country, these places offer a unique, and at times surreal, opportunity to imagine a world where anything is possible. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on these unclaimed lands. Would you want to rule over one of them? Or would you prefer to leave them to the legal battles? Let us know.